Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to show you how you can find a confidence interval for the proportion of the population. So here will be the 30 randomly selected observations from our previous population. And then you can see I want to find a confidence interval for the proportion of the survey people who are married. You can see here from this data set, we will have one column, okay, called married. 0 means the people is not married, and then 1 represents the people who is married, okay? So we want to find a confidence interval for the proportion of those survey people who are married. Then we need to first find out the proportion of the married people in those 30 observations, right? So what you need to do is you can select it, the whole data set, and then use the data here to sort, okay? So we need to sort the data by married by the value from the smallest to largest, okay? So we hit OK. And when you hit OK, you will see those people who are not married were showing up here, right? And those people who are married were showing up here, right? So in this example, okay, the sample size equals 30, okay? Because we have 30 observations. And then you can also compute how many people who are married from this observation, okay, to the end. Those are the people who are married, and then you can count it. It will just equal 18 people, okay? So here we have 18 people who are married. Therefore, it means the sample proportion will equal, married people divide the number of the sample size, okay? So we'll have 60%, right? Which means in this data set, 60% of the people who are married. Then we need to compute the standard error, okay? So the standard error, I already put the formulas here. You can also find this formula in our textbook, okay? So this is the way that we can compute the standard error. So in Excel, how we can compute this standard error. In this cell, okay, you can just put equal, and then you can see we need to get a square root, right? So we need to put the square root. This is the square root function, hit, okay? And then you will see first, we need to get the numerator, okay? So numerator will equal sample proportion, right? Times, you need to put the left parenthesis, okay? 1 subtract the sample proportion, okay? So from here, we just make the numerator. And then we need to divide this one by sample size. N represents for sample size, okay? And then we need to hit the right parenthesis. After this one, we just finish the standard error, okay? And then we can hit enter. So we get the standard error. And then from this formula, as I put it here, is the way that we can compute the confidence interval for this proportion. We need to have the critical value of Z alpha over 2, okay? So Z alpha over 2 here, we put a critical value equal 1.95, 1.96, okay? And then for the confidence interval, we need to use this formula, okay, to help us to get confidence interval for this proportion of the married people. So I will just put equal. You will see we'll put equal, and then using this P bar here represents for the sample proportion, okay? Subtract the critical value times the standard error, okay? So that will be the left-hand side of this confidence interval. The right-hand side, you can similar, okay, put equal this sample proportion plus the critical value times the standard error we just computed, and then hit enter. So from here, you can get the confidence interval for the proportion of the married people in this 30 randomly selected samples. Thank you so much.